All right, we are live, guys. So, welcome to Prime Talk, where we talk about ideas, practices, and visions that push us as humans to act. For this Saturday night, we have a special guest. Her name is Miss Tati Castro. Take it away, Miss Tati.
Okay. Thank you for being here. How many of you are curious about what I'm talking about? Go in the comment section and type curious. How about you, Matt? Are you curious about what I'm going to talk about?
Yes, because I'd like to believe how we got here, or progress. I'd like to put progress, and then I'll build why being curious really led me to progress. So three things is first is progress and curious is like I wanted to do some things, let's say this, but it was in the makings of a few years. So this is one progress. Two is I was just curious. So I was curious about what if I say these things to this person in the span of my life, whoever that was, whatever that interest was. I'm just curious what would happen if I actually did the thing that was initially a great thought, but you know for some people like me, who when you had the thing that you're curious about to do, but if you let it sit a bit, it's gonna, the initial feeling that you want to do it, the curiosity that you're really looking forward to do, you know got lost. So like for number two, I'd like to encourage people to just do it if it makes sense. Three is my relationships with others have really been good. Progress is in them because I'm curious if, let's say, can I just be myself? Can I just be normal? Can I just come from, most times when I want to connect from a spiritual standpoint in a conversation, like how do I feel in that sense? Or or any sense, physical or mental, anything really. And I'm just curious. I found myself advantageous in multiple ways. We're gonna be probably touching on tonight about it, progress and curiosity. So thank you so much for asking me, Miss Tati.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt, for that very clear explanation of your curiosity. So, for
Mm.
those people who are watching live and those who are watching on replay, I will ask for you how many of you are curious? And if you're curious, please type it in the comment section. And before go on, hi, Chris. Thank you for watching. Chris said he's watching. And
Yes.
somebody's listening while driving. Oh, I hope we will be pleasant to your ears while you're driving.
Mm.
And we will be on with
Yeah.
you guys soon. Yes, we will be expecting you here. And how many of you here are not curious with the things that I will share in a while? Type not curious. And in my case, I am curious who will type not curious in the comment section.
I'm
So
curious
for
too.
those watching live and those who will be watching on replay, especially those who will be watching on replay, I encourage you to participate as if you were watching live. Is that
Right.
okay? Thank you for your time that you're spending here. I want to give my best because I see that you're giving your time,
Hmm.
your effort and your energy being with us. And for this to happen, I will give my very best to make the most out of your time. Is that okay with you? Type
Yes.
okay in the comment section. Thank you,
Okay.
Matt.
Okay.
And for today, I will be sharing with you three things. Are you
Hmm.
ready? Type ready. I want to see in the comment section for them to type ready if they want to know the
Can we get
three
some
things I
readies
want
in
to
the comment
share.
section?
Type ready if they want to know the three things that I want to share tonight. Let me see. Yes,
Me,
thank
I'm
you.
ready.
Thank you for typing curious. Thank you, Matt, for saying ready. For the benefit of those watching on replay, you participate also. Type ready. I
Mm.
will be talking about Matt, you lower the volume of your Facebook.
Oh,
There's
really?
a feedback. Yeah.
Me? Oh, I'm not on
When
the.
you adjusted, I saw that when you adjusted something. Okay, let's the show must go
Okay.
on. Maybe I'm just
Let me know if it's still here.
with
I
yeah, I can hear it. Okay.
really.
The three things that I'll be talking about are bias, curiosity, and dreams. And how bias and curiosity could bring you closer or
Mm-hmm.
farther from your dreams. Before we move forward, for those watching, I want you to put your hands on top of your chest. And imagine that while you're holding your chest, you're holding your dreams. And what we're going to do is to always bring you closer to your dreams. And I want you to move your hands away from your chest. Move it away from your chest. That's a sign that you're moving farther from your dreams. So, what we're going to talk about today is how your curiosity and your biases can bring you closer or farther from your dreams. But before I start, is it okay if I share a little something about myself? Matt, is it okay?
Please, I mean, uh, the audience would love to hear more a bit about you personally or, professionally. Go ahead, Miss Tati. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been helping, for the past 2 years, I've been helping people to build their confidence so that they can start pursuing their dreams. I am doing
Mm-hmm.
this because I'm always reminded that I only started pursuing my dreams more than 40 years later. And I feel that I only started pursuing my dreams just now. I would
Mm-hmm.
like to bring you also to 2020, March 16. That was the time that it was announced that it will be locked down because of COVID. I remember
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the sofa. The sofa was soft. The sofa, the living room was brightly lit, but I felt that it was dark. I could
Mm-hmm.
feel the humidity on my skin. And because it said lockdown, on myself, I felt that I was lost at 43 years old. At 43
Mm-hmm.
years old, I was asking myself during lockdown, the time that I felt that I could not do anything, what will happen to me? And I was just starting to decide to pick myself up, and I felt so lonely. And this happened for 3 months. During the 3 months, I was not
Mm-hmm.
that useful. I just slept, took a bath, and ate for 3 months. And then later, after more than 3 months, I told myself, this has to stop.
Right. Right.
Now,
Right.
if it's okay with our audience and if it's okay with you, I would like to share with you the right things that I did moving forward.
Please. Yeah. I
Type
mean,
type go. Type go in the comment
go. Let's
section. Let me
go.
see. Let me see if you type go. If
Mm.
you're also interested to how I also started bringing myself closer to my dreams. Are they typing go in the comment section? Let me see.
We have here somebody said,
Is
"Hi,
there a go?
Joshis." I can't
Hi,
see the
thank
name,
you.
so I'm sorry about
Yeah,
that.
there's a go. Okay.
We have here
I will
go.
only go if I can read the go in the comment section.
There
Thank
we
you. Thank
go.
you for that.
Mm.
Now we're going to talk about three things as I mentioned earlier. It's about curiosity, bias, and our dreams.
Mm-hmm.
This happened during a disturbing time in our lives. I learned about these
Right.
things when during the campaign period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
During the campaign period, I noticed people being repelled or being attracted to stuff. I noticed people having apathy towards some things that are happening to them and some who are very attracted to some topics. So I said, "Oh, I think it's the same about life."
Mm-hmm.
Now look at it this way, 'di ba we're talking about dreams. So I imagine since we're talking about dreams, I was picturing puzzle pieces. And since I was
Right.
picturing puzzle pieces, what if for us to fulfill our dreams, kailangan sama-sama lahat ng puzzles on one table,
Mm-hmm.
'di ba? Pero ang reality, yung puzzle pieces pala natin are not presented to us on the same table. Same is true as
Right.
in life, 'di ba? Even with our family members, you will find out as you get older na our family members cannot all satisfy our needs and wants. And sometimes they do not even understand us,
Right.
'di ba?
Right.
And then you find yourself looking for other people who can help you, who could support you with your dreams. So I said, maybe it's the same is true with the puzzle pieces that we need to build our dreams. Ngayon, while I was
Mm.
thinking about this, sabi ko, what if the puzzle pieces are not available in one place?
Right.
And what
Correct.
if some of the puzzle pieces are put in places that you're not attracted to go to? Kasi remember, I told
Mm.
you, this is our dreams are near our heart, and then we could either move away from it. So it's about attraction or repelled, or di ba, the one side is you're attracted to something, the other side you're repelled to do something. And why are we repelled to do something? We're repelled to do something when we don't feel anything about it, like apathy, or
Mhm.
we really don't like what we're looking at. So instead of moving forward towards whatever that is, we move away from that. And the opposite of repelled is attract. Attract is
Mhm.
you really want what you're seeing. Now imagine this. We're in front of a path, and on these three paths, there are choices. One
Mhm.
path, you're really attracted to go there. Path number two, you're not attracted. As if it was you're really repelled to go there. Path number
Mm.
three
Yeah.
is hindi repelled eh. The third one is, what's the word that I was using a while ago? The third word is apathy.
Mm.
Apathy. You don't feel anything towards that place. So usually, if you see three paths in front of you, where would you usually go? Most of
Mo-
us
yeah.
would choose the path that we are attracted to,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
path that we are curious to.
Yes.
Now,
Mm.
in my case, even though I was thinking to myself, am I going to talk about what I learned during the period of the campaign, but I could not help it. So these are the things that I learned. I learned that we are not attracted to watch certain campaigns because it's either you're not really that interested or you're repelled to watch a campaign. In those
Mhm.
cases, we wouldn't know what they're offering. And since we don't know what they are offering, wala na, we have no idea what's there. And in other cases, we're attracted to watch other campaigns because of our curiosity to watch it. In my case, because I
Right.
think I am adventurous and really a curious person, what I did,
Mhm.
I watched the different campaigns. And when I watched the different campaigns, I saw the biases. I saw that other people just did not understand what the other people were saying kasi they were not even interested to know the other side of the story. So they
Right.
did not really have an idea what the other campaigns were offering. Now,
Mm.
I
Right.
was thinking, I I'm watching the feed on social media. While watching the feed on social media, I said, they just don't understand. They don't understand because they're not listening to what the other person is saying. Now, going back to the puzzle pieces.
Right.
What if the other puzzle pieces to build your dreams are on the path leading to the path that you're not interested to go to because you're repelled to go there? Or the path leading to uh,
Interesting.
yeah, I'll make it simpler. It's either you're repelled or attracted to do something. So you will only choose paths that you're attracted to go to, and you will not choose paths that you're repelled to go to. And I
Right.
was thinking, because of what I learned, one major thing I learned during the campaign is, what if the other things for me to better understand myself and what I'm going through can only
Mhm.
be answered if I go through the path that I'm not interested in or even repelled to go to? Because
Mm.
what happened is I developed a certain feeling of
Wow.
empathy towards people from different camps. I only developed that because I got to understand them where they are. I
Mhm.
may not be wearing their shoes, but I understand where they're coming from. So in my thinking, I could only be better at what I do also if I got curious to go into the prime community.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
'Di ba?
That's
Kasi there are
powerful.
also a lot of trainings now na one of the things that I'm really grateful for is I've experienced different types of trainings from different companies, from different mentors and coaches.
Right.
And what I noticed, I was always curious and attracted to go to them.
Mm.
And I was
Get it.
thinking that it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot because I pursued the questions that I was asking. And then the
Mm.
next question is, this helped me a lot, but why is it other people are not interested to even take a look? Are not even interested to look at the free videos or
Yes.
the free seminars or the free trainings. You know why?
Why?
They're not attracted to it, or
Mm.
they're repelled to do it. And there are reasons why this happens. Now,
Mm.
let me challenge you. What are usually the reasons for you to be attracted to do something? Okay, I would like the
Right.
people watching to type in the comment section and for you, Matt, to think about it
Right.
also. In my case, I would be attracted to do something if it will help me grow in love, it will help me know more things, or it will help me answer
Right.
the questions that I have. Others will be attracted to do something because of the surprises that they will get. Other people
Mm.
will be attracted to do
Yeah.
something because they know they will contribute to something bigger than themselves. Other people will be
Wow.
attracted to
Yeah.
do something because of, let me check my list, because they want the feeling of certainty that I am pursuing this path because it will help me feel safe, to feel secure, to help me get a
Mm-hmm.
better income,
Mm.
for my
Right.
family to
Right.
be safe. Other people will
True.
choose another path because they want to contribute to a greater good. Like with other people, they're interested, their attention, they will, what's this? Makakatch yung attention nila when there is something to do with donation, drive, or parang mga ganon.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
attracted to do that kasi these people are attracted to contribution.
Yes.
Yun. Tapos there are people naman who do it kasi they want to be known. They want people to thank them. They want to make a mark in the world. They want to feel significant.
Right. Right.
So you're attracted to do that. Now, why are people repelled
Fascinating.
to do some things? People are repelled to do some things because they're also protecting the love that they want to grow. So in any case, if I go through this path and this path will lead me to hatred, to loving myself less or loving my neighbors less, I will not go there.
Right.
So let's give an example. I'll be a little brave here with my example. I voted for Lenny, but I understand why people voted for BBM. I understand it because a lot of people value love and connection. And because of the strong message of unity, they are attracted to go there because a lot of people value love and connection.
Mm.
Yun.
So let's go through the comments real quick.
Comment.
So
Okay, comment
Miss Riza
section.
says, "To the path I am attracted to earlier." Mm.
Yes, what path is that? Why were you attracted to that path?
Mm, that's a good question. So leave us
Yeah.
a message and we'll be back. That next one here we have "Love You, Buddy."
Thank you,
So
buddy. We could not
yeah,
see from this end who the buddy is.
yeah.
Let me
We
check
have
on my
here.
gadget.
We have here "Love the Bravery." Yes, I appreciate the bravery in speaking such things.
Okay,
And
thank you.
mm, and yeah, you strike a very interesting conversation there, Miss Tati
Diba?
Castro, where most people, I would suggest, and in my opinion, I think in my opinion that choose the action that has the most attractiveness to it. So most times that attractiveness feeling could be certainty in it too. I mean, you're certain, so most times you take action on it. Now, what you're trying to say, Miss Tati, is what I'm getting, is what I'm understanding, which I really appreciate that you opened up, because sometimes, and I truly believe this, what I'm about to say, guys, and Miss Tati Castro, where I also jump into things, make decisions, do actions that are not from any attractive standpoint that you had us familiarize ourselves with in this conversation. I I'm most times, actually most of my time, love to do things that out of curiosity what would happen. And through numerous times of doing that for so long, it became something attractive to me. But it only opened to me when that idea you opened up was known to me. So I couldn't really, get there to that like unknown curious stage. And then whatever the outcome, I'm probably always happy about it. And if it were not that so satisfying or satisfaction, that the endeavor brought me, I would still overlook the pain, but the pain's there. But I could still overlook how that would still be a benefit and a win in the process. Because again, you mentioned, there's a bigger picture out here for that. And I think we get to see more of that bigger picture for ourselves in our terms, whatever that is, if we engage in that other part of curiosity. So yes, I mean, you strike a very interesting point there. And I would love to hear more about it, because that's a thing I really love to do. So go ahead, Miss Tai. Thank you again.
What happened in my case during the campaign period, I got curious with something that I was repelled to look at.
Mm.
So that I saw the power of what curiosity curiosity could do.
Yeah.
So in that case,
Yeah.
the question I was asking is it possible that because of my biases, I would not
Mm.
be able to understand other things? Because of my
Mm.
biases, I would not be allow
Right.
myself to have a wider perspective of things. And what
Right.
is a high value for me is to understand people from all sides, from all angles.
Mm. Mm.
I've always branded myself as a peacemaker. And maybe
Mm.
because of that, that was the reason why I have this strong need to want to understand what the other person is feeling. And maybe the reason why I see myself as a peacemaker, I also know the feeling of not being understood. And that
Right.
does not feel good. I also know the feeling of not being seen. And right now, I'm disturbed at
Mm.
what is currently happening. Okay, I'll make a braver move here.
A lot of
I'm
brave
very
accents.
disturbed about what's happening right now because a lot of
Yes.
major factions are being created.
Right. I get
One
it.
group, we're still talking about politics here. One group just want to support. They just want to support the same people who voted at paano ba to? O sige, I'll give names na. There are other people who are now practicing, they only want to support Pink for Pink.
Okay.
Others
Okay.
naman, they just want to support the BBM. So
Okay.
what
Okay.
happens? As a peacemaker, I'm disturbed. I'm disturbed because
Mhm.
what is happening? There is no conversation between two
Right.
sides. It's like, okay, I understand you with this side, you are seen. In this other side, you are seen, I understand you.
Yeah.
And people from both ends of the camp do not, a lot of them don't understand each other anymore.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Now, this is not the point of my talk.
Right.
What happened is because of what is currently happening, I am getting a bigger picture of why people are not close to their dreams. I'll give you a clear example.
Mm. Yeah.
What if, right now kasi, cancel culture is so real.
Right. Right.
Other people may say that they're not doing it, but it's really very rampant nowadays. So,
Mm.
what if this company will bring you closer to your dreams? And
Mm.
then you realize that this company is voted for somebody you did not want. You know what's happening? Both ends.
Mm.
This company only choose people who voted for their candidates. And then these people only choose companies who voted for their candidates. What if
Right.
for this company to grow, they need the people from this side because the experts, some of the experts that they need may be on this side. And what if the people
Mm-hmm.
here will also grow if they get connected to this company?
Mm-hmm.
But because of their biases and their strong political bias against each other,
Right.
they don't like to do it now. And they've
Wow.
forgotten that this I've been bothered for so long because of this, but it's helpful that you're in the room with me, so I'm a little braver. Thank you,
I,
Matt, for being here.
yeah, I mean, you open. Yes, it's a sensitive topic, but although the way that you construct it, you're not leaning towards anything or anybody, but you're leaning
I
more
hope
towards the
so.
sense. Yeah, know, you aren't. And I just want to say this because this is how I see it, guys. Like, you're opening up a conversation where you just want the possibility for the other biases to let go of that and just hear it out, because I think, and I not just think, I believe growth is instilled in is in that process. Growth is found there. And sometimes I agree with you, Miss Tati. It's not sometimes, but most times growth is uncomfortable because you have to let go of whatever is not making you make sense of it. So it could be ego, it could be pride, it could be, like that bias we hold on. And I'm guilty of that too. um Not in politics though. Sure, maybe in politics sometimes, but more or less the idea is, which I always practice too, is if I don't think of them like this and just hear them out, like, not to be quick on judgment, but to just listen, because listening is the art, guys. In my opinion, listening is the name of the game. Like, for progress, personal progress, in my opinion, we have to listen more than we talk, because in this business, Mustati, right, we aim to understand and comprehend, not to make snarky remarks or anything. So, again, that's, in my opinion, how I see this conversation is going. And I truly believe that this is just a space for opening up new ways of thinking, new ways of approaching thinking. And for me, that's very healthy and timely too, because there is an issue of such things that you're very
Yeah.
brave of talking about. And I appreciate you for that, because um, I just want to say this, and then you can take the stage again. Because most times the bias is so strong, people can't engage in a healthy discourse, whereas your idea will allow a healthy discourse to happen. Thank you so much, Ms. Tati, and please take it away and continue.
Wow, I like how you summarized what I said so beautifully.
Thank you.
It was
I
so
mean, that's how I
nice.
got it. Yeah,
One of the
that's
things that is one of the things that I am guilty of, I am impatient. When a person
mm,
talks and says a lot of things, and I think that I have a feel of what they want to say at the start, I stop them halfway because I am really impatient. But
mm,
right now, what I am actively practicing, and I think I'm getting better at it. I let people finish what they're saying before I start to
mm.
to answer. And I realized that a lot of people are repelled to talk to me because of that trait. I don't let
Really?
them finish their sentences. Before
Oh, okay, okay.
now now it's just I'm improving, Matt. So before
I see. Yeah.
I don't let people finish their sentences because when they talk in my head, I know what you're saying. So I will answer
Right.
back right away. That's what I do. And then sometimes this
Mm-hmm.
is practiced on a regular basis when I talk to my husband. Before I talk very fast and my husband talks slow. So when he
Mm-hmm.
talks slow, in my case, I let him finish his sentences. But I'm used
Mm-hmm.
to talking to people who their speed of talking is really fast. When I talk with my sisters,
Right.
as in it's
Right.
like we're in a race kasi it's how many words per minute when we talk. And then sometimes
I
when
get
I
it.
talk to people na later I also see myself talking in a slower pace because I talk to other people who have a slow pace of talking and I'm not used to
Mm-hmm.
that. So when I talk to a person, I let them finish. And then this is what
Right.
fascinates me. Kasi
Mm.
halfway in the conversation, my curiosity stops. I get
Mm.
I'm not interested anymore because I get bored.
Ah,
So what happens to me now is I turn on my curiosity back on and tell myself maybe there are more things that I need to listen to in order to learn more. I wrote it
right.
down when you were saying listening and not to make quick judgment.
Mm,
Kasi what happens, especially for me who is
right.
impatient with conversations, I really bite my tongue like that
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm.
so that I will not talk, or I'll step harder on the floor so that I will not talk right away. And what surprises me always and what fascinates me most of the time, when I bite my tongue longer, the conversation becomes more interesting kasi I hear stuff
Right.
that I would not have heard if I stopped them halfway.
Right. Yeah.
'Di ba? So now,
Correct. Yeah.
what I'm excited now is I'll go to politics again. This scares me, by the way.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right now,
Um,
the
yeah. You're in
BBM
the healthy space.
created a cabinet with people from different camps. And what is nice about that is maybe he knows that he cannot solve everything. So he got people for the board, or what you call that. I'm really not so versed in politics talaga. Pero what happened
Yeah.
is he's getting people from different camps to build his team. And that's good. Kasi what
Mm.
happens is, 'di ba, what's common now is we see on Facebook, what do you see? A six or a nine? 'Di ba that's common?
Yeah.
What you see? A six or a nine. On your end, you may see a
Yeah.
nine.
Yeah.
You
That
may
makes
see,
sense.
'di ba? And other people will
Massive
say,
sense. Yeah.
we're not biased. We're not biased. So I will have a lot of recommendations tonight if that's okay with you. Type recommendations if you
Please.
want recommendations. Can you type
Recommendations.
recommendations? While I'm waiting for you to type recommendations, I would like to say hi to Hazel, to Maricar, Riza, and Che. Si Che Almadin de los Reyes pala. She was the one
Good
who said,
evening.
I love you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
staying. Yan. Thank you, Riza, for typing
Right here. We
recommendations.
got
Okay.
recommendations.
As we're going along, uh, thank you for doing that. Please
Yes.
also
No problem.
recommend how we can address this. Kasi I'm only talking about politics, but this happens in real life. What if your dreams, you can get closer to your dreams if you work in a company that's pro BBM? Or what if you'll get closer to your dreams if you get employees who are pro Lenny Robredo? Kasi we're talking about building your dreams. And the reality of this is nobody is an island. Nobody stands alone. We're built for
True.
community. And if you're going to look at
True.
each family structure, maybe we're designed to not really understand each other within our families. And maybe we're designed na within each family, uh, we not
Mm.
everybody could provide what we need within the family. Maybe because we're designed
Right.
for something bigger than family, which is society.
Right. I totally get it.
We were built to get out of our families, to build our own families, to incorporate us in societies, in cultures, in countries. And one of the reasons why people do not understand each other is
Right.
that they do not take time to listen because they are not attracted. They are repelled either with
Yeah.
the individual, with the message, or with their own biases.
Right. Yeah.
There.
It's it's something that, in my opinion, that now that you've opened up possibility for change and growth in that process of just holding back, biting the tongue a bit, waiting to hear the whole story, just listening, and then from there we can actually sum up a few things in a much better, clear way. Clarity is present there if we just listen more. And again, you touched on, society, community. I totally agree with the art of listening that you're perpetuating. out here in this conversation, Miss Tati, yes, I mean, we, in my opinion, we do grow to be more savvy individuals in communities after that, because, I mean, y- for an individual who, and you can realize this, guys, if you're a really biased person, you can really feel that, okay, I don't want to listen. The wall has started to build itself when we hear something. So that's the obvious sign that there's a bias happening. So what what really is a tasteful thing to do for me is what Miss Tati said too, is just, so yeah, let's hear him or her out, and not to make any judgment, not to say him or her is uh, dumb or stupid, but just to listen why they made that assumption of theirs, like with whatever they're saying, and what's the point in doing so, Matt and Miss Tati Castro, right? For me, I can name 3 points that would really make sense to me to hold my tongue a bit and just listen, which are: first is, I get to know you better. Second is, I get to understand how I should talk to you. And third is, I grow as a person, as an individual, as a person. Why? Well, because I get to learn another human being now. His or her point of views. I mean, be it not a positive in any niche or category I want to learn from, but just to understand. And there's a benefit there, because for, Miss Tati, who's a life coach and who's coached a lot of people, there is always, for in my opinion, for Miss Tati, a taste to just learn more from more people, learn from more people, for the benefit of communication. And God knows how much you could benefit from being a great communicator, getting your ideas through to people, through different people. And what does that make you as a great communicator? I mean, again, three things you can benefit from it. You can, if you can plan out your ideas in an illustrated way, you can illustrate your growth, the growth of something you want to happen. You can illustrate that. You can communicate that. Um, Second, people pay you money for it. Third is, well, you get to know yourself more. I mean, if you can if you can understand a lot of people, you can probably, I would assume, be the best person to understand yourself. And again, the benefit of understanding yourself is like, you live better with yourself. You can you can say things that you mean and not feel bad about them. And all because you seem to lean in a way where, because you've listened a lot, that it really helps. It's like therapy for when you talk, in both ways, in my opinion. And third could be, you enjoy the passage of time if you're a great communicator in this world. So yeah, um what you've opened up, Miss, that is really nice. So for me, um no wrong there. You're just somebody who likes the art of listening, and that for me is what needs to be heard more, I guess, because I mean, I feel really good. This is like therapy for me, for because you're teaching me how to listen too. So thank you so much, Miss Tati. Go ahead. Yeah. And by the
There
way, we have comments here. We have hola.
from Facebook user.
I don't know who this. You should really tell us who you are in the comment section. So,
Yeah, they
oh, I
did
get,
not say, they did not ask. What
we got
happened here
hello.
is they need to allow StreamYard to access their account so
Oh,
that their face will, we could see their names.
so
So what I could do on my
okay.
end is I could go to our live and see who they are,
Hmm.
but I could not see them also.
It's cool.
Okay, so
Um,
my first recommendation is to listen more than what you're used to. So if you're used to listening for only 2 minutes, challenge yourself to do a 3 minutes, one
right.
minute more. So listen more for 3 minutes. Or
Mm,
next is, basta, patience is a virtue.
it
What
is.
is
Yeah.
happening here is when you listen,
in art.
Number two is, so the first one is to listen. Number
Right.
two is to accept that we are all biased and judgmental. What we could
Yeah.
do is we could delay judgment, but we could not say that we will remove judgment. Delaying judgment is giving the person the benefit of the doubt. And being aware that we have judgment and we have bias makes, we're bringing out the elephant in the room. Okay, bias is here, judgment is here. Okay, I know this is my bias, but I want to get to know this person more. I know this is my bias, but I want to know more
Yeah.
about what I want to do,
Yeah.
like that. Or this is my judgment about this person, but wait, maybe there's something that I need to learn. Now, I'm
Wow.
not going off topic here because the goal here is to bring us closer to our dreams. And you know what?
Mm.
That happens when we connect more to one another. We only realize that our dreams become more real if we connect to more people. And that only happens if we delay judgment
Right.
and we remind ourselves that bias is there. Kasi when we
Mm.
remind ourselves that hello, hi there, three handsome boys on the other screen. And since we are aware that there is my energy so high because this is really a sensitive topic. So,
I just want to
uh,
say good evening, Chris, Mr. Royce, Mr. Martin. Good evening. Thank you for tuning
Good
in.
evening.
wow.
I'm sorry for late. Sorry for late.
No, you're
Okay,
good, guys. You're fine.
just tender your excuse slip later so that I will read. Okay. Thank you
But
for
yeah,
joining.
Sorry,
More
guys.
handsome boys in the room.
Go,
Yeah.
Daddy! We just want to support Daddy. Woo! Woo!
great energy, guys. I love
Yeah.
it. And by the way, Miss Tati, you're good on the topic. You're on a healthy note, naman. And yeah,
I hope so.
you know you are. You're doing wonders. You're helping a lot of people understand the value of patience, and that art where let's go to that unattractive place just to learn, and we've identified the benefits of that. And for me, you're helping people. You've helped people. You're helping people with this conversation. So yeah.
I love the nod, Matt. Matt, but Martin. Thank you, Martin, for the nod. I can see it at the end of the
Thank you,
room.
Mr. Martin.
So, kasi we cannot say that we will remove bias because bias is there also to protect us.
Mm,
'Di ba nga, how many percent of the brain are we just
right.
using now? It's less than just how many? 3%. We're using, I think, less than 3% of our brains. So, for somebody to claim that, if somebody claims that that person is not biased, maybe he or she is an alien. Kasi for all people living on this earth,
We all have biases.
and
Yeah.
we have biases because of our physical limitations.
Yeah.
Kasi yung brain natin, we're only actively using, para safe, less than 3% of our brains. And we have biases also
Mm,
to make us decide faster.
correct. Correct. Yeah.
With
Most times.
exclamation point kasi I am an overthinker.
Mm,
What happens to an overthinker? The more possibilities and the wider perspective sometimes is a kryptonite for overthinkers.
mm-hmm,
Why?
mm-hmm, mm. Why?
Because you want to consider all the things on the list. You want to consider everybody in the room. Sometimes you need to make quick actions and quick decisions. So
Mm,
this is not about right or wrong. This is not about uh, are you biased or not. Kasi unang-una sa lahat,
wow. Yeah.
if somebody here wants to say that bias does not exist, uh, I'm not I'm not in the position to explain why it does not because in my
Mm,
own bias there's bias. So I'm
yeah.
really biased there. So now, de una,
I
listen
agree.
more. Kasi when you listen more, you'll have a wider perspective of things. Secondly, be
Yes.
aware that bias and judgment is there. Kasi the moment that you put it out there, that, okay, this is my bias, but I want to know more. This is my bias, but I want to understand you. This is my judgment, but I want to know more
Wow. Yeah,
outside of my judgment. And it's
that's
a good
powerful.
thing that Royce is here in the room. I'm reminded kasi he mentioned before that we were not designed to live outside of our comfort zones. We will die.
Mm. Mr. Royce has something to say.
Yeah.
Let's give
Yeah,
it the
Sige,
I
Roy.
floor. Go ahead.
yeah, I've been listening in naman kanina since we joined halfway through Tati. But ano,
Yeah.
Thank you.
baka for the people joining in halfway like me, maybe a recap would help. But also I wanna add also what I'm hearing now about bias because also
Mm-hmm.
yeah, tama ka, bias is kryptonite for overthinkers because
Mm.
my also my
Right,
personal
right.
experience when I go to the grocery store, parang 110 grams, 100 grams.
Mm.
This is 35 pesos. This is 34 pesos. Sige, how much is it
Divided
per
by...
gram?
Yeah,
Na,
Th-
na,
that's a
na,
good example. That's a great
uh,
example.
yeah, and what I guess to cut to jump to the point, then I can give it back to you naman, Tati. Like what got me out of that, I realized I was spending so much time think
Mm.
debating in my head which was better, and I realized I have better use for my time than analyzing which bag of chips is better and like which is
Makes
minorly
sense.
better. Like, I
Makes
just pick
massive
one
sense.
because I have better decisions to choose. So yeah, yun lang.
I
Yeah.
would like to take
I
I would
agree.
like you to take your example further. What if your
Mhm.
purpose in life is to find the
Mm.
best tasting chips in the world? You will get to it faster if you always decide faster as to what chip to taste. Kasi the more you delay, bawa, mag 110 grams pesos, 100 grams pesos, divide,
Mm-mm.
divide, divide. Or just buy this chip because this is your budget, eat it. I don't like it, get the other one, eat it. I don't like it, choose
Mm-mm.
another one, eat it. I don't like it. What happens is, wow, wine. Okay, what
We
happens
got some
here,
wine
the
tonight. Yeah.
more, kasi taste test, what happens here is, if it is life, you allow yourself to make more mistakes, di ba, Royce? You allow yourself to make more mistakes. So, instead of delaying, dahil nga, why not at the moment? What do I like? The green pack or the red package? Okay, I'll choose the red package now. And then you remind yourself later, oh, I don't like that taste. I'll get the green one. And there, because your pursuit is to find the best tasting chips in the whole wide world, you'll get to your answer faster the more you allow yourself to experience more. And that
Yeah.
only happens if you allow bias to take over. Kasi sometimes, if you always question, kasi di ba, if you always question the bias, maybe this is the best one or the best one, rather than just, or buying both immediately, than
Mm.
buying one only. It's about experiencing and experiencing and experiencing stuff. So, we're not
Right.
saying that
Right.
bias is the enemy here. What we're saying here is, no, tama
Wow.
si Royce, what battles to fight? Tapos secondly, allow yourself to experience more things. Kasi for overthinkers like us, like me and Royce, what helps for overthinkers is to experience more rather than analyze more.
Right.
Kasi both will take time. Since both will take time, they don't ka na sa experience more rather than analyze more.
There's a lot of
Yeah. Royce is
learning
raising his
from.
hands.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Royce. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I wanna add in because this is also
Please.
fun for
Please.
me to talk about na. Yeah, I
By
think
all means, please.
underlying yeah, speaking from my personal experience also, the
Mm.
reason why I found that I was overthinking was because I have a fear of making mistakes rin. That's why I'm like
Me too.
I have to think it through before ano,
Me
nothing wrong,
too.
diba? Pero I'm like, oh nga, look at the time, look at how much time I lost, diba, deciding. Tapos I realized then, okay, I tried it. And ako rin speaking from experience, I
Yeah.
tried it already na I make a snap decision and I was wrong. Guess what? It's okay. And then next time I know what to choose, diba? I know
It's
better.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And at least I got to move on. So parang there's a saying like fail fast. Yeah, it's learning how to fail
Mm-mm.
fast. So
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'd like to add to the whole conversation you had there with Mr. Ate Castro and you, Mr. Royce T, is first off, yes, I agree. Bias not the enemy. I would go as far as say bias is the opportunity to begin, and you touched on experience. You got to experience a lot of things, try a lot, try new things, try a lot of things, and from that experience, you get to decide what works for you, and that's the benefit. right? Like if you just change how you look at it and bias, we're talking about bias, and it just opens up a lot of doors getting to know ourselves, in my opinion. If we just lower it down a bit, well, completely maybe, because how can you get another's perspective fully? You don't open that door or gate or that wall you break down. So yeah, for people watching, how many of you have ever had a conversation about bias, since now till now, and tell us what's it like for you hearing about bias? What's it? What do you think now that you've thought about it? That if you did lower it down a bit or completely, what would you think could be the
Martin.
benefit waiting for you?
Martin,
Mark Cruz, please
Martin.
take it away. Yeah.
All right. So Matt, yeah, hello Tati. Good evening. Thank you for
Hi,
your
hi.
Mark Cruz. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers up.
Cheers.
What I would hear about bias before is usually negative. So they would
Mm.
say you're so biased like that. Tati was sharing also
Mhm.
something
Yeah.
very personal or sensitive earlier. What I learned, just to keep it short, my part is it matured
Yeah. Good.
later on. So on a base level, bias is just there for survival, just to help us make faster, snap decisions. If I see a bus driving fast at me in the middle of the road, my bias is it might kill me. Right? I might get run
Right.
over.
Right. I agree.
Then later on, we can have freedom of choice, right? We can have biases towards more constructive or positive things. So
Mm.
now I have a bias to listen to you. Now I have a bias to, yo, Royce, mute me. It's their turn now.
I actually want to add
Sige,
something.
go first.
Ako rin, I wanna add, pero you go
Please,
first.
please, go ahead,
This
Chris.
is yung sinabi ni Martin. No? If you're having trouble determining whether your actions, you should do something because of a certain bias, one thing that would help, it's okay to have bias when making decisions, so long as you're
Mm.
open to it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because again, when you do something, there's feedback, right? So whether that is
Right.
positive or negative to your life, then it all depends. And based on experience, I'm a very biased man. Based on experience, I like to be proven wrong. So yun lang, right? So I'll
Wow.
end with yours.
Yeah. I guess mine was same thing also. Like I also agree with that. And like bias is not a negative thing. I guess I would say that in bias is a natural part of it's a natural part because why? Simply put, no, we're not God, whatever you define by God. But I mean by that we're not all
Right.
knowing. So but that means that with our limited information, no, like we're gonna have bias because we only see so much of the world.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I just want to take it a step further also. Like what's our usual reactions to bias? It's like across a spectrum. Like on one end, people are like number one, they're denying that they say I'm objective, I don't have bias or I eliminated bias. It could also be that people tend to overthink
Yeah.
like me. Like I want to eliminate bias as much as possible, so I'm not gonna make a decision yet. Yun. The other one is also equally as dangerous because you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm biased anyway, so I'm just gonna let my bias loose," and that means that you're letting
Yeah.
you're letting your bias run rampant already. That you're saying like,
Mm.
"Oh, everyone's biased anyway." It's forgive the PG-13 example, but para trigger
Yeah.
warning, but it's like saying, everyone goes to the bathroom to do number one and two, so we should just do it everywhere. Which is not right. Of course, that's why we have the bathroom. Like it's managing the bias. This the same as we manage going to the
Yes.
bathroom. So
Managing
yeah.
bias. Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that, Miss Royce. It's
I
yeah.
just
Go
want
ahead, go ahead, Chris. Please. Go ahead, Chris.
I let my
No
bias
one's attacking
loose
you.
to I let my biases loose for the sake of sharing ideas and the debates. Nothing else. So bahala kayo if you
Pwede yun. Levels
if
advocate.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
you're hit by the aftermath. Bahala kayo dyan. So yun.
I get it. And yeah, I mean, let things play out too. Sometimes, yeah, it's a healthy still way. And I just want to hold on to what Mr. Royce said, like, manage your bias. It's really nice that you said that and touched on that, Mr. Royce Tino. Kasi for people watching who are new to these things, how many of you manage your own bias? You regulate it, you lower it down a bit. Thank you so much. Raise your hands. Me too. Like,
Trying,
it's
Trying,
trying.
it's
trying.
it's always an effort for us. I would bet. Yeah. And I mean, being aware that there's a skill or there's a possibility to lower down the bias completely. I mean, makes me as an individual feel good that I can tap into that source of understanding and just learn again, because there are traces of learning in that process. So, I mean, to be able to know there's such a tool in this conversation you brought up, Miss Tati, is, it's really great for people watching too, who are new to these things. Um, you're giving them a tool, in my opinion, how to address the bias in multiple ways too, and multiple benefits too. Um, yeah, thank you so much. For everybody trying. Yes, Miss Riza. Yeah, I'd like to say we all are, and in that effort in itself, that being so aware of it, and we're trying to, is a lot of progress in itself. So yes. So, Miss Tati, please, uh, go ahead and take the spotlight again. And yes, bias and all its wonders.
Thank you, Matt.
Mm.
So I said, my problem is to narrow down my recommendations, but for the sake of time and for the sake of our sanity, let's
Yeah.
leave it to three.
Okay.
So the first one is to listen more.
Mm.
Listen more. And number two is to be aware that there's bias and judgment. The third one
Mm.
is to be curious. Kasi curiosity could be a state, but it could also be a decision to be. In
Mm-hmm.
my case, why did I say that what we're going to discuss will help us bring us closer to our dreams? Because at the end of the day,
Right.
in whatever work we are in or whatever endeavor that we're pursuing, we
Mm-hmm.
become more successful if we help more people. Kasi each one of us is designed for a community. Each one of us
Right.
is built to contribute. And for that to happen, and for that to happen, we need to delay judgment and also be aware that we have our biases towards other people. Kasi, di ba the word is be aware of? Kasi awareness just says na I am aware of
Yeah.
this but I want to get to know the other person more. Kasi more dreams are realized if more people are being helped. And you will find yourself realizing your dreams faster if you also connect to more people. And connecting to more people means lowering bias, delaying
Mm.
more judgment, and listening to more people. And spending more
Wow.
time to listen and
Yeah.
listen and listen. Kasi we could only give our proper response if we see the whole picture. Kasi if we're in a room of people, you will notice that the person who talks last usually has the most wisdom. Why is that?
Mm.
That happens because he took time to listen to each
Wow.
and everyone in the room.
Yeah.
And most of the time, the reason why that person was the person with the most wisdom kasi he knew that he had judgment. He knew that he is biased, but he was able to park it for a while to have a better understanding of the
Wow.
person of the
It's
people
powerful.
that are in the room. So at the end of the day, I may have been talking about the campaign about politics, but all it still boils down to getting closer
Yeah.
to our dreams. And this can only happen if we allow ourselves to pass through even the paths that we're not attracted to.
Yeah.
Kasi remember, I was talking about two ends of the spectrum. We're
Right.
attracted to
Right.
some things and tawag dito, we're repelled. It's attraction and repelled to other things. What if for the other puzzle pieces are on the paths that you're repelled to go to?
Yeah.
So
Um.
I was like, what I did, I shared on the Facebook wall about the different doors. And these
Mm,
doors, sometimes you're attracted to go to one door because of that color, because you're biased with that color. So in
mhm.
the sense, you always go through that door, but the other puzzle pieces are with the other doors. Yun.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree.
Yes,
Progress.
Chris.
Yes, please, Chris. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just to share now, I'm a business
Yes.
owner. One of
Mm,
my biggest biases when I was in business, and dahil
mm,
to, I had friends actually betray my trust, so I had trust issues. Sabi ko, I don't want my team working from home, right?
mm.
Because mainly because it's very risky, right? I don't trust human nature enough for them to work from home. Came the pandemic, here's what happened. I actually want them to work from home because it's less stress for me. Just saying.
I get
So
it. Yeah.
yeah, so you.
Hi to Gerald.
Yeah.
Also,
Hi to Gerald daw. I'm wearing my earpiece, he could not hear.
Oh.
Hi
Okay.
Gerald daw, sabi ni Royce. Yun.
Yeah, and again, you touched on a topic there. Sure, it's sensitive, but it's a good example of a bias. It's a really great example of where bias can be found. I'm pretty sure you open people's hearts and minds into their friend. May have a friend on the opposite end of the spectrum. Hearing out such things about that bias, blowing down the bias, and hearing them out just for the sole purpose and point in understanding why that is so. Now, would you say, where would I take this understanding now? Where? Well,
I understand Martin has a bias to raise
ah,
his hand.
please go ahead, Mr. Mark Cruz. Yeah, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
It's all good, man. Just waiting you to finish. Thank you,
Oh,
Tati. So,
yeah.
another maybe polar opposite or similar example to
Right.
Chris is I have a bias of actually not trusting people, like trust issues. So, as Matt was saying, we can also choose. So, right now, COVID, the time, I'm in a room, so two other men, and our
Yeah.
masks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can choose to have a bias for it to trust these people, maybe out of love,
Right.
the environment, and we're here to support that and you.
Me too.
So why can't I choose my bias to be something else when everyone else doesn't trust
Wow.
each other because they might get COVID and die?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, and I'll speak up also for the other side because I was sharing this with Martin a while ago, and
Mm.
mine's the
Yes,
opposite.
yes, yes.
I sometimes I'm too trusting,
Mm.
like, and
Mm-hmm.
just coming from my own experience also. It's like that could also lead to being irresponsible because I'm like, oh yeah, like hey Royce, let's join in. Like, yeah, sure, without checking, right? So sometimes due diligence, that's the term. Due diligence is too good to have. So yeah, like being I guess
Yes.
it's still a bias either way, like too trusting or not trusting enough, because there will be times that it's not gonna work for you. So yeah,
but I just find it funny, right?
Mm. Yes, yes.
Trusting the people in the room, not trusting, trusting too much, and then trusting because of due diligence. I am in the room with
There's
this
a lot happening right there.
person drinking wine because I know they can't travel if they don't. If number one, they're not vaccinated, and
Mm.
number two, if they didn't get tested, right? So, yun lang.
Judas.
So due diligence naman.
due
Right? So,
diligence, yeah.
yun.
Yeah. Wow.
Back to you
Wow.
guys.
Yeah.
So
And thank you so much, guys. On the other end, men with wine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, men
Yeah.
with wine. Can you bring the wine here?
And just I just want to talk about the benefit of lowering down real quick again the bias and just listening. And then we would take what we got from that experience. And you may ask, okay, Matt, that Miss Tati Castro, Mr. Royce T, Chris, Mr. Martin Cruz, where am I gonna take this understanding now?
Where?
Well, yeah, well, for where the way I can see myself taking it is maybe there's an opportunity waiting for me with this type of understanding now. And I don't know when and where, but all it will happen when you're because you're prepared and you understood the art, the process of listening and stuff, and you understood something around that, you know, spectrum again, both ends, and then you had an opportunity to say something about it, and then you made sense to people, and I think that opens doors to just become more, you know, become more as an individual. Please, Mr. Mark Cruz, go ahead. I see you raising your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt, for
No
sharing
problem.
that. And so
By all means,
where will we
please.
take it? I just want to flow here, no? And Patty
Mm.
said curiosity. So this is my very first time in Iloilo in here.
Ah,
So
see,
let's take curiosity, right? So why don't we
right.
take just like this?
Now that is a cute cat, if I say so myself.
The original title of my talk is How Curiosity Killed the Cat and Much More.
Yes.
Mm.
But I was
So
not
Wow.
comfortable with the word killed. So I I
You change
requested
it.
that the title be changed to The Powers of Curiosity. And what I
Mm.
liked with the three handsome men, what they did, yeah, that was my original title. How Curiosity Killed the Cat and More.
That is
yeah.
action,
So one
brother.
of the things that's
That makes
the one
sense
of
though
the
for
things
you.
that stood out in the conversation with the three handsome men there was the power of choice. Kasi we have our biases, we have our judgments, but we could choose to ask more questions. And in asking more questions, it's about being curious. So in my case, I was talking to you
Right.
about, I'm talking to another person, and along the way, I get bored with the conversation. But I
Mm.
choose to still be curious so that I could let the person finish his or her sentence or his or her paragraph or his book. So in my case, what I'm experiencing, I get to become more patient and I get to understand more and I get to have more compassion with the other person. Kasi before, I told myself kasi, he's saying a lot of things and I know where this is
Mm.
going. Kasi intelligent eh. So I know where this is going. So halfway, I would
Mm.
cut the I would cut what the person is saying because I get bored. But what happens when I cut the conversation, I do not get to see or hear the whole thing. And I really appreciate myself more when I let the person finish what the person is saying. Kasi, okay. This is what he was saying pala. Sometimes, because we are not all born speakers. Kasi if you're a born speaker, you know how to how to catch the attention, di ba? You know how to do the hook because you're a good speaker. But
Yeah.
more people are, I could say 90% of the population are not good speakers. So most of the
Mm.
time, the meat of what they want to say is in the middle or sometimes towards the end of what they're saying kasi they don't know how to make it attractive to the other person. And what if the person you're
Right.
talking to did not attend the trainings on how to become a good speaker? So the important parts of what he or she is going to say is right at the middle or towards the end. You will not hear it. The person will not feel seen and you will not get to understand the person more. And what if there was a catastrophe and the solution to the problem will be stated towards the end of what he or she is saying? So it's really
Mm.
about,
Yeah. Yeah.
wait, try to understand the person more. Kasi at the
Wow.
end of the day, what I'm sharing with you comes from a frustration. Diba I told you I voted for Lenny. So a lot of my friends put me in FB groups that are pro Lenny. But in
Mm.
my case, since I'm a little adventurous, on my Facebook, I follow BBM. BBM is the main character. I follow him and I want to understand him more because he is the president
Extreme.
of the
Yes.
Philippines. And to benefit the Philippines, a country will be divided, o 'di ba? This is so ano na, 'di ba? Getting more exciting. A kingdom that is divided will fall. So in my case, what will I choose? I'll choose to help the kingdom crumble,
Right.
or
Wow.
I will take an action to help build the kingdom. And if in that case I could help unite people just to challenge them to understand each other more, I feel that it will be a better Philippines because of what I'm doing. And it is
Yes.
scaring me. It's scaring me now kasi
Mm. Yeah.
what's happening here, I'm also putting group chats. So there's group chats for Lenny, ganyan. And I could see talaga total bias na talagang this group judges that group, this group judges that group, and they don't know ganyan ganyan ganyan. I'll not say the words na kasi I don't like to give power to those words, but the point is everybody is, not everybody but many, and
Mhm.
this is alarming, many good people, kind-hearted people are not aware that they're contributing to the division of a country. And I believe that the success of the country, for that to happen, it's important to build
Yes. I
getting
totally
more
see.
interesting.
Yeah. I
I
totally
could feel it.
see. No,
So
no,
the
you're
word
good. You're
is,
good.
di ba? Unity.
Yeah. Take a breath, Tati. Take a breath.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath.
You keep
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Kasi
And
I was
yeah.
while I was writing it down many times, I really was removing politics from my notes. It was actively out of my notes, but it's in my heart and it's here. So the
Well,
point is, I want to contribute to a better country. But for that
yeah.
to happen, it starts with me. Since I want it to start
Right.
with me, my algorithm is pro BBM and pro Lenny. That's my algorithm. So I understand. I can see a bigger picture. And in that bigger picture, there are a lot of things that are happening on both sides that both people decide. As in, this is alarming. They decide not to look at the other side of the fence and forget that we are only one country. And I believe that
Yes.
we will
Yes.
get closer to our dreams if we also contribute to helping more people. And that means not choosing who to help. Kasi yun yung mga realities that I see on my feed na eto, they want to help people
Yes.
who
Yes. I
voted
get
for
what you
this
mean.
president. This group of people want to help people who voted for that president. Or what if the engineers that this company needs is on this fence? What if the teachers that they need in philosophy are on the other side of the fence? How could we grow as a person if we don't allow ourselves to expand to territories that are not comfortable? And sometimes for us to build the puzzle that we want for ourselves, we need to expose ourselves to more people. Yun.
Yeah.
That's it.
Y-
Taking deep breaths.
Mr. Royce C, please, you have something to say. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Christian
man.
wants to add something. Yeah.
So again, I just want to add something. And again,
Please, Chris.
this is not a debate on politics. No? Pero just to answer the question, right? What if the person you need is on the other side? Right? The person
Yes.
has skill sets that you need is on the other side. Well, in terms of organizational growth, ideologies matter more than skill sets.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
true.
So that's the answer. So it doesn't
Mhm.
matter if you're there. What matters is what matters more is the ideology. If you guys don't believe in the same ideology, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
It's better that you don't work together. Okay,
Yeah.
because that's what happened. Sorry, that's another rabbit hole. Should we go there?
Um,
That's another topic.
what's your heart say?
Stay tuned for the rest of the campfire. For the rabbit
Yeah,
hole na.
Yes.
I'll
We can
Okay,
hold it for the
Chris.
campfire. Yeah. Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
before I forget, this is the answer to that one. I
yeah.
see a lot. Kasi misinformation is, kasi the issue here, di ba, it's not misinformation, is misinterpretation. There are a lot of misinterpretation because people don't take
Yeah.
the time to listen. For example, I'll give an example kasi talagang I'm swimming, I really see both sides of the story eh. Halimbawa, kasi I'm Lenny, di ba? So on this side, it's radical na pagmamahal. O, di ba? Dangerous waters na. So, radical na pagmamahal. So, we know that it's loving more, it's giving chances, forgiving, ganyan. As in, all the positive traits of radical na pagmamahal. And
Yes.
then, since I allowed myself to go through healthy conversations with opposition friends, I found out that there was this group called ABS.
Okay.
ABL. 'Di ba ABL is Angat Buhay Lahat, 'di ba? So but there is this ABL, anyone but Lenny. So in this anyone but Lenny group, their intention is to like, follow, and subscribe everything that's pro BBM, pro all the opposition, pro who are they?
Yeah. Everything
Basta
about
Pacquiao,
each side.
basta
Yeah.
all the other presidentials, they will like, subscribe, ganyan, ganyan, follow, except Lenny. And then one of the articles there, they said that the radical na pagmamahal is promoting ano, opposite, parang going against the government, something like that. And then
Yeah.
what happens here, this is not about ideology. This is about misunderstanding brought about not wanting to listen to each other. This is another thing, this is not left or right. Kasi what happened, etong side na to, they only talk to each other, di ba? So, chismis, marites. So, what happened? Si Marites 1, kinausap si Marites 2, si Marites 3, and then they don't validate what it really means from this side. They just, what happened is, halimbawa, I heard something about Royce. And then, I only heard something about Royce, but I did not validate for myself if the story was true. This is what is happening. The point is just to check if what you're hearing is really true. Kasi what happens is, okay, dito na ako. Kampihan, parang bata. O sige, galit ako sa kanya, ayoko sa kanya, galit ako sa kanya. So
Mhm.
what happens,
Yeah.
minsan, may friends akong ganun eh, parang, o sige, wag na natin siya, hindi na natin siya bate kasi galit ako sa kanya. Pero sa akin, when I get to know the person, I don't have issues with the person kasi meron lang silang misunderstanding. And this friend of mine just wants me not to make friends with her. So let's simplify this. One of sad thing about today's politics, everything is oversimplified. It's either you're here or there. So may peer pressure, may bullying on all sides, may mga ganon. So yung sa akin lang is to get to see the bigger picture, ask questions. The question is this true? Is this valid?
Mhm.
Tama ba yung sinabi niya or pwedeng interpretation lang niya? It's just about asking questions and being curious and to know for yourself kasi each one of us has a unique experience of the world that maybe the one question or the one puzzle to your dream is found on the other side. Yun lang yung that's how I experienced it. Na parang,
Yeah.
teka, a lot of things that are happening here is misunderstanding because of a few people who misrepresent. So what happened, because of these
Mhm.
few
Yeah.
powerful people with the intention to misrepresent caused a lot of misunderstanding, are we just going to be here na parang just accept na, sabi nila, kasi my example is Royce. Si Royce kasi,
I
ganito,
get it.
ganyan,
Yeah.
ang gwapo-gwapo kasi ni Royce eh. Parang yun lang. Kaya nga sabi
Um.
ko it's dangerous waters kasi when I was opening this topic even to other friends who are pink, parang eto nga experience ko eh. Hindi pa ako tapos sa topic ko. Hindi. Kasi sila, they're evil. They're promoting evil, blah, blah, blah. I was just with my first 4 words pa lang to start my sentence, ha.
Yes.
So, hindi pa niya narinig yung point ko. And this friend of mine already decided, hindi, basta they're bad in my eyes, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. Diba? Hindi pwede eh.
Yeah.
That's for me.
Yeah. Again, just and I like that you also speculated who these possible people are who misrepresent a certain group of people
Which is
because
true.
yeah, and uh, again, bias arises there, which is true. Well, what you said, Mr. D, yes, I agree. And some authorities become subject as a public figure for that bias. And yes, Mr. Mike Cruz, please go ahead, take it away, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Stage on you. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I wanted to share something quick. I agree with Patty on being curious for the truth, because she said that, be curious for the truth. And then I learned this growing up. Seek first to understand than to be understood. So I didn't know that was one of the seven
Yeah.
habits of highly effective people by Stephen Covey. So that solved 99% of my arguments, my problems. And usually people, when we feel emotionally charged with anger, frustration. So if I try to understand Tati's side,
Mhm.
if I could feel the emotion, gigil. Then if there's another person who's
Yeah.
anti Lenny, anti even BBM, whoever, um, I also feel an emotion. Now, if I seek first and say why is he like that? Why is she like that? Most of the time, they're in pain. They have a reason behind it. Then that gives you, me, everyone here space, space to be curious. Just going back to the topic, and then ask. Yeah. So seek first to understand.
Then,
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 then I'll ask you,
Then,
hey,
yeah.
can you understand me? Most people, just harsh truth, they won't. They won't try to understand us, but that's okay. But that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, back to
I
you, man.
agree. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Marcus, for saying that, because that is also a fact. For many, if that's a fact for you, yeah, sometimes what do you do when a certain bias or that's arising from the opposite side of the conversation happening? What do you do, right? Like most times, it may take a long period of conversing with each other to get through the idea of what Miss Tati is trying to say to get to that spot. Um, but is it a worthwhile thing to go in numerous heated, or a healthy discourse of conversations? Yes. Again, the point is to just find a place of comprehension and understanding, understanding and comprehension for the benefit of learning. And where do you take that learning? Well, you improve yourself. I'm pretty sure it can find a home in your work, in your speech, in whatever you do. It will find itself useful to you. That, being able to understand. And yeah, for people watching, how many of you are learning so much about bias? I mean, it's just, yeah, right. You probably, this is the first time for some people to hear from it. Chris, you have something to say?
yeah, I just really want to emphasize this because I remember the title, right? A lot of people, and
Yes.
we've already established this, a lot of people have been spreading information with the intent to divide. Okay?
Yes.
That's real, regardless of whoever you believe in, that's the
Yeah.
truth, right?
Yes.
Mm.
And I'm also reminded by the title of the what was supposed to be the title, and I think it's very fitting, right? Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
Killed the cat.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Massive.
parang
Because
even if it was just a title, I was so sad for the cat. That's why I asked the title to be changed.
no, you should be sad for the cat, right?
Yeah.
But
Ah,
I also think it's about time we stop censoring stuff like that. Kasi
Mm.
now more than ever, with people, the intent of this video is to invite you to go deeper and further
Right.
to what is
Absolutely
in
true.
front of you. Okay,
Wow. Yeah.
and again, curiosity killed the cat because there might come a time where those who are curious will really die in real life. Right?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a huge possibility.
True.
Ever. Okay. And let's just hope it's a metaphorical death, right? Death as in transformation. Sana
It
lang.
is metaphor, people. Watching,
Sana.
it is metaphor. Yeah.
I sincerely hope it's a metaphorical death. Um,
Mm.
but one thing I really want
Yeah.
to invite all of you to think about is this, right? Even with that, you know, I would invite everyone here.
To kill the
to
cat.
not they're the cat. They don't they
Metaphor.
shouldn't kill
Yeah.
themselves, you know. Um, and that's another rabbit hole we can
Yeah.
we can go into. Pero yun lang, right? Now more than ever, because there are people who are out there with the intent to give you false information and divide you and even make you believe in opinions rather than
Right.
facts.
Right.
you should be curious. Yeah, you
Right.
should be more go beyond the veil. So yun lang.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
add
yeah.
super quick again,
I
right?
Yeah.
agree. Mr. Royce T,
People
go ahead.
following flow, not the vibe of Tati, and what Chris mentioned. Usually, it's the people who are curious, truly curious. They do not have any bad intention to try to destroy others. Because if someone was truly curious, I would understand Matt first.
Yeah.
I would understand Tati first. Why will I have an intention to try to kill you or take you down? So yeah, Royce.
Yeah, actually, a few things pala, no, since you brought that up. Yeah, I think it goes back to intention also. So
Intention.
yeah, the intention, because here's the thing, you can, if even if we give you these pieces of advice, for example, seek first to understand and to be understood. I know some people who already deliberately ask first, but their intention is to gain ammunition to destroy your further. Yeah,
Manipulative.
yeah. So it's like, oh, why do you agree with this person? Oh, you said this, but this, but this, but this. So yeah, it still boils down to intention. Even, and again, and I can just bring awareness to it. It yeah. Narinig ba tayo? Hello? Can you hear us?
You're back. You're back. You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah, it goes. It goes down. Again. It boils down to intention. You can twist even that. It's really good, like Martin shared. But you can twist that piece of advice, because I know people who are applying that, but still, again, their end goal is still the need to be right.
Correct. And
Yeah.
last thing to add
Yeah.
to Royce, he also mentioned the key
Please.
aside from intention. It's awareness. So
Yeah.
I don't want to go down a rabbit hole again, but those who know what gaslighting is, I
Mm.
thought my ex was manipulating me through gaslighting. Then later on I found out the definition. The one who is gaslighting doesn't even know they're doing it.
Wow.
So they
That's
don't
scary.
have awareness. Even if you say you're a bad person because you're trying to kill me, they're gonna say, I'm not trying to kill you. And then they have the gun or the knife figuratively at you.
Mm.
They're not aware. So what's the answer? Be curious.
Yeah.
Back to the topic of Tati, be curious.
But
Wow.
responsible. Let's add
And
that.
responsible.
And responsible.
Mhm.
Right? My drug lord sa neighborhood. Only, I want to understand the drug lord. Be responsible.
Or I'm so-
Yeah. I
I
mean,
want
don't.
Necronomicon and summon the evil dead
It's very
to
funny.
kill humanity. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Curious.
don't be
and
that kind of curious, you know?
It's coming out. So yeah, now we have curious, responsible. I'll add also open. Yeah,
responsible.
And I guess that's just open, and just being honest with yourself, because again, how many of you might know someone who's saying that I'm open, but when you look at their actions, right,
Yes.
it doesn't agree, right? Like, and I don't need
Mm.
to I don't, again, another rabbit hole. It's gonna be hard to explain that why, because to put it shortly, this person is in denial that I'm open naman eh, but their actions say otherwise. So again, the short answer is that person is not even aware that there's something that they're not actually open when they say, because openness is so easy to say, but it's not easy to do. So
Yeah.
yeah,
what-
it's a struggle.
Back to Matt. Please, back.
No, I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
want to
yeah.
appreciate Mr. Royce T there for bringing it up, because I'm pretty sure people have dealt a hand about those such things, and what I see the benefit of bringing it up from Mr. Royce T is we can be more aware of it now. And what's the benefit of being more aware of it, right? If you would ask me, or Miss Tati, Cash, or anybody from Mr. Roy, Steve, to Chris, to Mr. Mark Cruz, what's the benefit of being aware of gaslighting, right? Oh, Mr. Mark Cruz.
Yes, Martin.
The awareness, just based on my personal experience, you're gonna find the goddamn truth, man.
Mm.
Getting bitch
Yeah.
slapped in the face. Sorry, Tat, I don't wanna hijack the Lord, but we get to the truth. It makes it possible for us to be open. You
Mm.
can't be open without having awareness. Unless you're God.
Ooh, that's a big one. Yeah, that's a big one. How can we change for the better if we're not aware of
Correct.
the good and bad? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. How can I be good if I never committed a sin? If I never knew what evil was?
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, another
Another rabbit hole.
Now there are
Wait,
like
wait, wait.
The session.
Okay, okay.
there's like
Uh,
5 rabbit
Matt,
holes now
Matt,
open. So yeah.
Matt. Okay,
Yeah.
let's temporarily close the rabbit holes for a
All
while,
right.
if
Let's
you
let's
will
cover them
allow
up
me.
real quick.
So what I did here was just a clear and real life example of puzzle pieces that are placed in different places. Kasi what I did, the example I gave is, what if the one puzzle piece is pro Lenny, one puzzle piece is pro BBM, one puzzle piece is pro Isko. And you will not know the whole story
Right.
if you just stay within your room, in your room. If you're in the camp of Kiko, Lenny Kiko, you will not get to see the bigger picture if you don't ask questions and say, Teka, what if a better Philippines will happen if we get the senator from this camp or the person from this camp? So, okay, the reason for this example is for you to see how real bias and prejudice and judgments are. The point here is, it's not only in politics and it's not only in the during the campaign period. In real life, the puzzle pieces that we need are not always in places that we're attracted to go to. The puzzle pieces we need to fulfill the life that we have, some of them are held by a mentor you need to go to, a life coach you need to go to, a community you need to belong in, or to attend this seminar, or to attend this class, or to attend this uh, course or something, or to get to see another friend, or go to Iloilo like what these two people did. They're there, I'm here in Pampanga.
Mm.
Na you
Yeah.
get to experience other aspects to have a better perspective of things. Kasi when you have a better perspective of things, it's a reminder that
Yes.
there's no one way of solving a problem. And there are faster ways of solving a problem if you allow people to join you. Kasi we're designed for community, and for that to happen, communication is important. And
Mm.
since there are people who are malicious to spread misinformation, on our end, let's challenge that misinformation by not also adding to the miscommunication. Miscommunication happens when we do not explore the other camps. So, if we're going to bring it back to reality, it's not only again about politics and about the campaign period. In reality, we need to go to places that we're not attracted to in order to build the dream that we want. Kasi, we need to go outside our comfort zone, di ba? To make our comfort zone bigger. Like what Roy said the other time, we're not designed to live outside our comfort zone. We're designed to expand. Kasi if we're going to live outside our nature, we will die, di ba? So it's about expansion. For that to happen, we allow growth, we allow more experiences to happen, we question more, we ask more, we challenge ourselves. When that happens, we include other people. We grow, they grow, more people grow. And when more people grow, we lead each other closer to our dreams.
Yeah.
Yes, Martin.
Yeah, I'll add something quick to what Tati just shared.
Please.
I believe that on being curious, finding out the other side. I believe that it's not only in politics. Sometimes it can even be in the workplace.
Definitely.
And here's a harsh truth sometimes. When we try our best to discover the other side, we discover that environment may not be for us. And I'm not saying maybe not for me. I might know another colleague and they are good, they're an achiever, one of the best. And then it's not for them. They end up leaving. It's not just me. So I'm not the
Yeah.
only crazy one here. Or maybe I come to Iloilo for the first time and I discover something good. Hey, I like it here. Maybe I'll come back. Something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Rojas, the
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Capiz.
Please,
Capiz. That's me. That's me, guys.
Yeah, so it might be a good, curious discovery.
Yeah.
So that's just what I wanted to add. I'm not here to force anyone to say, hey, be curious because you should know the other side, because you should like Martin. Some people should not like me, maybe.
Exactly, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
everyone, I don't know, not even everyone like Jesus or God or whoever you believe in.
They will
So
only know if they don't like you if they experience you first.
correct,
Oh,
and
yun, yeah.
that's okay. Be
Yeah.
curious, and if I don't, then you'll never know. So
Yeah.
That you really like
Again,
Martin.
wow. You know, Mr.
not
Marcos,
Can I,
wow.
can I cut in also? Yeah.
yeah, go
Ako
go
rin. Yeah,
deep.
yeah.
Miss Royce, go ahead, please. By all
Just
means.
add to Martin's also. Yeah, I think that was really good because the message I got also is like trust in your own judgment. Meaning, yeah, you might hear again, social media is everywhere. A lot of the
Yes.
social media shares a lot, but I guess it's an invitation for you guys, for me as well. Go
Mm.
and see for yourself. Maybe who this person is, like what's your personal experience. It might be the same, it might be different, but again, no, lead with openness, lead with curiosity, and be okay that be okay that
Yes.
your judgment might be wrong. Yeah, because
Wow.
if you make, what's the worst if you make a mistake, that, well, it's an opportunity for you to learn.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
you
add.
got it.
Wow.
Okay.
And I'll
Yeah.
add one last
Go.
thing. So
Maybe
Please,
Chris
I
is
love your
looking at
shares.
another rabbit hole.
It's
I'll end
amazing
this. I'll end it
what
with
I'm
this.
hearing.
Back
Go
to
ahead.
Matt and Patty. Of all the mistakes, the heartbreaks I've been through, going through depression, healing, I'm reaching a
Mm,
point
yes.
where like I don't regret it.
Yeah.
That's why
Mm,
I'm here.
wow.
Yeah.
I
That's
went
powerful.
through periods, yeah, where yeah, maybe I contemplated regretting or that. But the curiosity, when I started personal development in 2018, I got into
Yeah.
T. Harv Eker, Tony Robbins, right,
Mm,
and other
great
stuff.
names.
But yeah, I mean, I don't regret it. Being curious. So I
Wow.
just feel
Like,
like go full
Good for
circle
you,
with
man.
that. Back to Tati and you, Matt.
I
wow.
don't need to
Like,
do the emoji.
that
Hopefully,
makes
Yeah.
massive sense in
Before we
just
forget, if
curiosity.
people are enjoying this, we have this every week. That's every 8 o'clock every Saturday. Our topic for next week is Who Am I? How to Find Your Message in an Overly Saturated World by Winchester Lim.
Mm,
Yeah, so that we
that
could
is next
hear
week.
how he found this message for next week. In my case, why did I share about curiosity? I shared about it because it's the reason why I am in the Prime community, why I started my own growth journey and enrolled in different courses on personal growth. I met a lot of great mentors and great coaches that have all helped me a lot in my own growth. And that only happened
Yes.
because I challenged myself to be more curious on how I could grow as a person. Because curiosity is so powerful, it could lead you to both ways. In today's discussion, I only discuss the
Yes.
positive effects of curiosity because curiosity is like a knife. It could bake a cake or kill a cat. Thank you.
Wow. Again, Miss Tati, thank you for tonight. There has been a lot of doors open for people watching. Curiosity, bias, intentions, and all those things that carry possible good and learning. Again, and for multiple times tonight, we reframed the sense of failure with education, results, lab results, I would like to call it. So yes, we have here in the comment section our
The Zoom room
campfire.
is open for the campfire. Nabitin ba kayo sa discussion namin? Gusto niyo na bang malaman yung mga rabbit holes na inopen ni Chris Vinson?
We probably opened
Yan.
five to
Intentionally.
six rabbit holes. So
It was my fault because the topic was curiosity.
and it's a
I
great
take full
topic, Miss Tati.
responsibility for this.
And with that being said, please join us in the campfire. The link is in the comment section. And again, Miss Tati Castro and Mr. Royce and Chris, thank you for adding value tonight to our viewers, learning more about curiosity and bias, bias and curiosity, and how
Okay,
it can
next
affect
week,
us.
I'll repeat lang. Next week, our next
Yes, please
speaker
do.
will be Winchester Lim. Let's hear how he found this message with this title, Who Am I? How to Find Your
Mm.
Message in an Overly Saturated World.
With that being said, thank you everybody for watching Prime Talk and Have a great night. Um, the Zoom link is in the comments, and see ya.